Welcome back, children. So today we will do about audible and inaudible sound. Now there are various sounds of varied frequency. The sound whose frequency is less than 20 Hz is called as infrasonic sound or infrasonic waves, whereas those sounds whose frequency is more than 20,000 Hz is called as ultrasonic sound waves. So remember, sound waves whose frequency is less than 20 Hz is called as infrasonic sound wave, whereas sound wave whose frequency is more than 20,000 Hz is called as ultrasonic sound wave. So, in between 20 Hz and 20,000 Hz, this range of frequency is called as audible range of frequency, and these sounds will be heard by us. So remember, for human being, the limit of audibility is from 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. Means we human being will not be able to hear any sound whose frequency is less than 20 Hz. That is, we will not be able to hear infrasonic sound wave. Neither we will be able to hear any sound whose frequency is more than 20,000 Hz. That is, we will not be able to hear ultrasonic sound waves. So we will be able to hear only those sound whose frequency ranges from 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. So please look at the board. Supposing this is the frequency scale. Up to here is 20 Hz. Up to here is 20,000 Hz. So any sound whose frequency is less than 20 Hz, they are called as infrasonic sound wave. And any frequency of sound whose frequency is more than 20,000 Hz is called as ultrasonic sound wave. So between these two, from here to here, this portion is audible range of frequency, or it is also called as limit of audibility. Okay, children? So please try to remember this. The next part is echo. Now what is echo? Now if you enter a very big room, comparatively empty room or vacant room, or you go to a hilly area where many hills are there, and if you clap, after the original sound of clap is produced, you may hear a second sound, a third sound. So this repetition of the original sound, after it gets reflected from a solid obstacle, is called as echo. So what is echo? Echo is the sound heard after the original sound is produced due to reflection from solid obstacle. That is called as echo. Now for echo to be produced or echo to be formed, some essential conditions are required. First essential condition is there must be a source of sound. Definitely, if no sound source is there, how can you hear echo? The first essential condition is there must be a source of sound. The second condition is there must be a solid obstacle on the path of sound. Right? So, because you require a solid obstacle from where the sound will get reflected. And third essential condition, which is also very important, that is the minimum distance between the source and the solid obstacle should be 17 meter. Okay, children? So if that minimum distance is not maintained as required, then you cannot hear the echo. If the distance is less, what will happen? The original sound that is entering after production, the original sound after production, as it is being heard by you, and the reflected sound also is heard at the same time. For that reason, our ear cannot differentiate the two sounds separately. Clear? Now, whenever a sound enters our ear, the sensation remains for 1/10 of a second. This is called as persistence of hearing for human. 1/10 of a second, that is 0.1 second. So this sensation remains in your ear for 0.1 second. So any sound to be differentiated as a second sound will be sensed only when it enters your ear after a minimum gap of 0.1 second. Clear? Means more than 0.1 second. But if the original sound and the reflected sound enters your ear simultaneously or at a gap less than 0.1 second, then your ear will not be able to understand that reflected sound or will not be able to understand echo. Clear? So next I will give you a mathematical calculation which will help us to understand how this minimum distance is calculated. Right? So in our next class, I will give you this mathematical calculation. Thank you.